Hello student. So in the last class we have started SR flip flop and we have already drawn this characteristics table and finally find out the characteristics equation by using your K map. Now I would like to teach one more important table, that is known as your excitation table. Why this excitation table is necessary? Just like your characteristic table is, we need characteristic table in order to find the next state. Similarly, in excitation table, we will have present state as well as next state given, and you need to find the excitation. Excitation means input to the system. For example, in SR flip flop, S and R is the input, QT is the present state, and QT plus 1 is the next state. So this table is very important. Now I am going to draw this table. So please kindly remember this table and try yourself to find the input when present state and next state is given. So this is very important with respect to your counter circuits. In the latter part of the sequential circuits, we will study one more important, very important circuit, that is your counter circuit. In that circuit we need this excitation table. So that's why this is very crucial to understand. This is very important. So now I am going to draw this excitation table. So before that I will once again going to explain you how to draw this characteristic table. So as I have already explained you the truth table, from the truth table, when SR is 0 0, when SR is 0 0, the moment we see SR is 0 0, this QT plus 1 is QT. That means it will QT plus 1 means T plus 1 clock state, T plus 1 clock state. For example, let us see, this is your clock diagram. So QT is the output for this clock, then QT plus 1 is the output for this clock. That's why this is next step. And I have already extensively discussed with you what is the importance of this trigger circuit or clock pulse in your flip flop, how this flip flop is different from your latch. So the output will, the flip flop, the sequential circuit system will respond only when this clock pulse is active, only when this clock pulse is active. That means we will get the output changes, you will get the output only when this clock pulse is active. So QT is the, for example, when this clock is level triggered and this is the active pulse, and for that we get the output of the flip flop is QT. In the next pulse we will get the output as QT plus 1. That's why this is your previous state QT and this is your next state. That means for the next clock pulse. So when S and R both are 0 0, then what will happen? This next state will act like a memory. Memory means it will retain the previous state, whatever it is. So for this case the previous state is 0, that's why this is 0. For this case this previous state is 1, that's why this is 1. Then when I have already explained you, when the moment you see S is 0 and R is 1, whatever may be the previous state, the next state will be 0 0. Why? Because this circuit is known as, when R is 1 and S is 0, your flip flop output is reset. Reset means it will enter into 0 state. Restates I have already explained you. Set means 1, restates means 0. Then we will have, the moment we see 1 0 means we will have the flip flop output as set. The moment we see S is 1, R is 0, the flip flop output will be set. After that I have already extensively discussed with you, never ever give 1 1 input to your SR flip flop. 1 1 input to your SR flip flop. Why? Because this when you apply 1 1 to the flip flop, the flip flop enters into an invalid state. That means Q is equal to 0 as well as Q bar. That means its complement is equal to 0. That will not satisfy your Boolean algebra. If Q is equal to 0, Q complement must be equal to 1. But in this case, the output enters into invalid condition. That's why we will take this as don't care. That means either 0 or 1. So from this characteristic table, I am now going to explain you the next important table, which is your excitation table. So excitation table means we will have given present state as well as next state, and we need to determine the input. Input means your flip-flop input. Your flip-flop input. So FF stands for flip-flop. That this P dot S stands for present state. N dot S stands for next state. You can identify that QT means your present state. QT plus 1 means your next state. This two present state and next state is given, and you need to find this flip-flop input. Then how to find? So this is two variables, QT and QT plus 1. So 4 possible combination. That is either QT 0, QT plus 1 0, 0 0 0 1. Then we have 1 0 and 1 1. Now we will find the flip-flop input when present state next state is given. So in this case we can see here present state is 0, next state is 0. That means present state is 0, next state is 0. So we have to see here when present state is 0, next state is 0. Present state is 0 and next state is 0. So we have to see here once again I will draw this for you because this is necessary. Always this lower side alternate way 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1. So remember the middle one is 0 0 1 1 0 0 1 1, then 4 0 4 1. That's how you write 8 possible combination in case of 3 variables. So let me explain you. So when QT is 0 and QT plus 1 is 1. So you can see here here is QT 0, QT plus 1 is 1. Here is also QT 0, QT plus 1 is 1. So this is the 2 possible cases for which QT is 0 and QT plus 1 is 1. So this is one case and this is your another case. So now you can see here your AS is constant, AS is 0 0. So AS is always 0 in case of QT and QT plus 1 is 0. But R is 0 as well as 1. You can see here R is 0, either 0. When AS is 0, R is 0, QT is 0, QT plus 1 is 0. So you have to see here. We are dealing with this case when QT is 0, QT plus 1 0 for which input? AS and R. So always we can see here AS is always 0. This is 0 and this is 0. So you have to take it here as AS is 0. But your R is 0 for the first case, but in the second case your R changes to 1. That's why R is either 0 or 1. And in digital either 0 or 1 is represented as don't care. That is your cross. This cross symbolize it is either 0 or 1. Then we will see QT is 0, QT plus 1 is 1. QT is 0, QT plus 1 is 1. So what are the cases for which QT is 0 and QT plus 1 is 1? So we can see here QT is 0, this is the case, QT is 0, QT plus 1 is 1, and remaining is, there are no other cases for which QT is 0 and QT plus 1 is 1. So that's why you have this is the case, QT is 0 and QT plus 1 is 1, that is for S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0. So S is equal to 1, R is equal to 0. R is equal to, you have 0. So for this input only your QT changes to QT plus 1. QT changes to QT plus 1, QT is 0 and your QT plus 1 is 1. The next case is when qt is 1 and qt plus 1 is 0. So you can see here qt is 1 and qt plus 1 is 0. So this is the case, that is when s is equal to 0 and r is equal to 1. So this is the case for which we have qt is equal to 0 and qt plus 1 is 1. Then the next case is when qt is 1 and qt plus 1 is 1. So qt is 1 and qt plus 1 is 1. You can see here. I am now going to highlight this with so qt is 1 and qt plus 1 is 1. So this is the case. And another case is, this is another case when qt is 1 and qt plus 1 is 1. So for here we can observe r is always 0, but your s is changing from 0 to 1. So s is either 0 or 1, that means here this is here, don't care, and r is constant, that is your 1. So this is how we will find your excitation table. This is very very important. Please understand this, and if you are unable to understand it, you can ask me. So this is very very important. We are going to use it in your counter designing of counter asynchronous and synchronous counter circuits. So please student, kindly remember how to find excitation table. Excitation table means to find flip-flop input, input of flip-flop. Here you have given present state and next state, and you need to determine this SR. So for that case you need to observe from this characteristic table, and accordingly we will find your SR input. So now the next flip-flop we will study about. Similarly, the next flip-flop we will study about, that is your D flip-flop. So before that I will teach you how to represent this flip-flop. So this represents as SR for label trigger, circuit. This is represented as SR, and you have flip-flop as always two output, QT and QT bar. Here we have a clock pulse is applied. So label trigger means these types of clock, and this is your active high label trigger. If active low means you need to put a dot here. Then we will have edge trigger. How to represent edge trigger flip-flop? Edge trigger flip-flop. I am now going to draw that. Positive edge trigger and negative edge trigger. You have input as SR, output as QT bar, input again SR, output as QT, and we have QT bar. So here this is your positive trigger, this is your clock, this is your positive. Only you can see arrow mark is when clock is rising. So that's why this is your positive edge trigger. Positive edge trigger. So this you can see here. This is a representation of label trigger. Here there is no arrow mark. Here arrow mark is present because of this circuit is positive edge trigger. Edge trigger you have to indicate like this. So this is your system block. That is this is your system. You are applying input as S and R. We are getting output QT and Q bar T, and we have a clock pulse. And according to the nature of the clock pulse, we have different style to represent. So again here SR, and we have this. This is indicated as negative edge trigger. So I have to put a bubble in order to find your negative S trigger. So this is your negative edge trigger circuits. So this is how we represent your SR flip flop, Then the next flip flop we will study about, that is your data flip flop. Then we have D flip flop. Here D stands for data flip flop. D stands for data flip flop. Then how to design this D flip flop? So as I have already explained you, your SR flip flop. From this SR flip flop, we are going to see your D flip flop. Or data flip flop. Actually, what is the necessity or what is the application of this D flip flop? This is very, very important also. In SR flip flop, we have seen 1 is the invalid state. In this case, there is no invalid state. This flip flop is known as your data flip flop. Why? Because in the next state, whatever may be the previous state, we will get the input only. That is, whatever is the input is applied your flip flop, with some delay, we will get the same input at the output side. That means this flip flop will also act like a delay flip flop. This flip flop will also act like a delay flip flop, because in the next state, whatever may be the previous state, we will get the input which is applied to your flip flop. At the output side, we will get the input which is applied to your flip flop. So how to construct this flip flop? Here we will have clock is applied. Here we will have NOT gate is connected. That is here, this is your, for example, D. Then what is coming here as D bar. Then what is coming here as D bar. So D and D bar. This is nothing but your in SR flip flop. How to? I am going to draw it once again. Suppose your SR flip flop is given, and we have QT and Q bar T is given. Then how to construct this? So S is equal to D and R is equal to your D bar. S is equal to D and R is equal to D bar. So that's how we construct. That's how you construct your D flip flop from your SR flip flop. That means to S we are giving actually the same input and its complement is given. So to one of the input, that is S, is directly connected to D and R is connected to D bar. That is how we construct. So this is your block. So this is here QT and QT bar. So this is your actual circuit. So this is your block diagram. So S is connected to D, R is connected to D bar, and we have QT and QT bar. And this box is known as your 4 NAND gate. You have a cross coupled NAND gate here, and you have another NAND gate to which your clock pulse is applied. So this is how your circuit looks like in your D flip flop. So how to now we need to determine its truth table. We need to find its truth table. So in truth table we will have D we have QT and QT plus 1. So we have D, QT and QT plus 1. So in this case we have D can be either 0 or 1. D can be either 0 or 1, and here you have QT plus 1 is QT plus 1 is when D is equal to 0, QT plus 1 is equal to so we have here when D is equal to 0, the moment we apply 0 pulse, and we have here one clock is applied. So clock is 0, D is 0, QT plus 1 is don't care. That means it will retain its previous state. When clock is active, whatever may be here, when clock is high, D is 0, QT plus 1 is equal to 0. When clock is high, D is 0, then also D is 1, then QT plus 1 is 1. So this is your truth table in case of your D flip flop. In case of your D flip flop, you can see here when clock is, the moment clock is 0, sorry, the clock is high and D is 0, so we will have, what we will have here, the moment one of the input to the NAND gate is 0, we will have output here is 1. Suppose we will have here output is QT 0 and QT bar is 1. So the moment we will get here 1, and here we will have getting this D bar is 0 and clock is high, this is also 1. So 1 1 is coming here. So here we have, previously we have QT is equal to 0. So that's why this 1 dot 0 that will going to becomes Q bar T is equal to 1, and this is your Q bar T is equal to 1 and D is 1. So QT is equal to 0. So once again we get the same state. So that means when D is equal to 0, QT is equal to 0. So D is equal to 0, QT is equal to 0, and when D is equal to 1, your QT plus 1 is 1. So you can see here QT plus 1 is directly whatever may be the input. So why you are going to, you need for example you need your data to produce at the output after some delay. You need your data to produce at the output after some delay. So this is the perfect circuit that this NAND gate going to produce some delay and going to replicate the exact input. So whatever input here D is equal to 0, so QT is also we are getting 0, QT plus 1 is also we are getting 0, and this NAND gate we are here going to provide some delay. So now we will draw its characteristics table. So characteristic table means we have input here D, previous state here QT, and your next state is QT plus 1. This is very simple flip flop. So D is equal to your 0, QT is 0, so 0 0 0 1 1 0 and 1 1. So whatever may be the previous state, your output is going to equal to with D. So QT is 0, QT plus 1 0 1 1. So whatever may be here, you are going to get the next state as same as. So that's why hence your characteristic equation qt plus 1 is equal to d. Qt plus 1 is equal to d. So here this flip flop, always remember, going to produce the exact input after some delay. So that's why this flip flop is also known as data flip flop or delay flip flop, that after some delay it will produce the same data. So qt plus 1 is equal to d. Qt plus 1 is equal to d is the characteristics equation. So in the next class we will study about your JK flip flop and T flip flop and race around condition. So thank you.